President Trump, a victim of a mass shooting. Why hasn't the fake news told you about it? The Democrat news media, CNN and PMSNBC, tell us there's a mass shooting every day. Why would they not tell us that President Trump was one of the victims? It happened in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13, 2024, and this is today's mass shooting. Of course, we have a segment called Today's Mass Shooting. If there's a mass shooting every day, then the 10th Man podcast believes it's important to tell the truth about it. It's rare for a mass shooting to happen anywhere else in the world, the news tells us. Forgetting about the rare school shooting in Graz, Austria, June 10, 2025, where 9 students were killed, and the church shooting in Damascus on June 22, 2025, with 30 dead. But the news media get confused because the Graz and Damascus shootings were real mass attacks, while the Butler event was an assassination attempt. But in the database of mass shootings, the manufactured term preferred by the press, there's the attempt on Trump's life. Mass shooting number 296 of 2025. How is this a mass shooting? Well, when they say there's a mass shooting, they have their fingers crossed. They say mass shooting and hope you'll hear mass attack. A mass shooting, a phrase invented by the anti-gun press, just means 4 people were wounded by gunfire at the same place and time. Crime, relationships, motive, number of shooters, none of it matters. A mass attack is when someone goes berserk and tries to kill as many people as he can, whether that be with a gun, a knife, a bomb, or a truck. With any weapon. And if he uses a gun, then the Democrats call it a mass shooting and lump it into their database with all the instances where 4 drug dealers got wounded. Those are right here in their database, dozens of events where urban gang members wounded each other. No deaths, just injuries. And that's where the assassination attempt on President Trump appears. It is one of their mass shootings, but it's obviously not a mass attack. How could it be? The guy only fired 8 shots. He did hit 4 people, but 3 of them were by accident. He didn't fire wildly into the crowd. Imagine the damage he might have done if he had. Instead, he accidentally hit people in the same line of sight as Trump was. The first rule of a mass attack is you got to do it on purpose. None of the real mass attacks they tell us about involve someone accidentally shooting a dozen people, accidentally like the guy in Pennsylvania. Heck, if anything, this guy was trying to put 8 bullets into the same victim. He was actually trying to avoid being a mass shooter. But the Gun Violence Archive inducted him into their Hall of Fame nevertheless. Not only do they deceive you into thinking there are hundreds of mass attacks every year in America, they only tell these lies about America, as we've shown you today with the Damascus shooting, and we'll show you again in the future. Of course, the Trump assassination attempt will always be known as the Trump assassination attempt, and I don't want to distract you from the real crimes, so let's talk about the other mass shooting of July 13th, 2024. This guy was the worst mass shooter of 2024. Another event, another guy you've never heard of, even though his mass shooting was a mass murder, and on the exact same day. So meet Damien McDaniel. Is he in their database? You bet he is. Not only that, he's in there twice, and not just as a mass shooter. By the standard of wounding 4 people, he's a mass shooter several times over. But this guy killed 4 people, and he did that, killed 4 at once, twice. On July 13th, early in the morning, this gang member / drug dealer and son of another convicted drug dealer and accused murderer shot 13 people in a drive-by shooting in a nightclub. With 13 shot, that makes 3 mass shootings right there. with a mass murder included, because 4 people died. Now, the media could have called this a lot of things. They could have called it gang crime, drug crime. They could have called it a bar fight. They could have called it a drive-by or urban crime or black-on-black crime. And all of those would be accurate. But instead, they call it a mass shooting, just like the Trump assassination attempt. They're just the same. And while the Democrats were using misinformation to attack your right to bear arms, and it is your right whether you choose to use it or not, all through the presidential campaign, this criminal was still out on the street after that shooting. So on September 21st, he did it again. Not an assassination attempt, no. Remember, a mass shooting can mean anything. And in this case, it means another mass murder. While the fascists are trying to disarm you, Damien McDaniel went out on September 21st and shot 21 people at another nightclub. And 4 of them died. That's 5 more mass shooting equivalents for McDaniel, a total of 8 so far. But that's not all. He also killed other people at other times in other places. McDaniel shot a total of 40 people in 2024, and 11 of them died. He killed so many people that the city of Birmingham, Alabama, a black-populated, Democrat-run city, broke its 91-year-old homicide record, with McDaniel responsible for more than 7% of all murders in that city. And the fascists on the left say the only thing we got to do is take away everybody's guns, and there won't be any more problems. This deception is tragic for many reasons, at least 2. And it's not just about politics or gun rights. Clearly, there's a big problem when the press constantly lies to us about guns, isn't there? When there's enough gun lies that an old guy can put up a brick backdrop in his basement and make a new podcast with a new lie about guns every single day, don't you have to wonder why they constantly lie? They say our guns make America more dangerous than other countries when it's actually safer. They say crime is going up when it's going down. And that's just the facts. They say there's a mass shooting every day and a school shooting every day, then make up deceptive databases to prove it. All to take away your gun rights. The fascists on the left hate your gun rights and despise your children. When most little kids die in drownings, and it's happening right now, they work day and night on banning guns, which, unlike water, is incapable of hurting your kids all on its own. We mentioned the church shooting in Damascus in June 2025. The jihadist murderer killed 22 unarmed innocents. While that was happening, his philosophical brother tried the same thing in suburban Detroit. But in America, the churchgoers are packing, and this guy was killed before he could kill someone else. Bearing in mind this event, a true mass attack, is not considered a mass shooting to the gun control liars because he failed to wound the required 4 people. He tried to kill as many as possible, so it's a mass attack, but he failed, so it's not a mass shooting. So it doesn't go into the database, and the fake news buries it. Anything not supporting the narrative is buried. The Austria attack because school shootings can only happen here. The Damascus and Detroit attacks because they show that armed citizens save lives, and people perish when they cannot shoot back. And forget about any mass attacks where a gun wasn't used. Those are erased as well. The Butler, Pennsylvania attack shows that the gun haters can tell any lie at all, and the Democrats, along with the fake news, will let them get away with it. Damien McDaniel shot 40 people in 1 year. 11 of them died. He committed 8 mass shootings by their own definition. But you've never heard his name because he doesn't fit the script. No AR-15, no MAGA hat, no photo to plaster on cable news, so they buried it. Because the only shootings that matter are the ones they can use, and the rest, just numbers in a spreadsheet. noise to inflate the stats, fuel for the next call to do something. And that something always means taking your rights while the real killers keep walking free. This is the 10th man. When the media hides the truth, we dig it up. So like, share, and don't let them get away with it.